All right, I was closing the doors.
10,000 people just heard your doors close. 10,342.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm kidding you.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things we want to talk about today. Going to give everybody another minute or two. Is everybody enjoying this sunny Good Friday?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh man, it is 82 degrees here in San Diego. What do you guys got going?
About 80 degrees in Atlanta.
Not bad. All right, mute those Jamaican drum bands in the background. but I want you to keep your audio on so we can have a discussion here. This is I'm going to start. Let's see here. I'm going to try to record this also, and we're on. Okay, good. Hey everybody, this is Claude Diamond here. This is our usually once a month group call. I like to do this the first Friday of every month, get together, hear about deals and things like that, and find out what's going on. Anybody who's got a deal they're working on, first of all? I want to hear about some deals. Who's doing some real estate?
No current deals right now, but I am marketing.
Yeah? What kind of marketing? We're going to talk a lot about marketing today.
Well, I just made a couple phone calls, text, and email.
Right.
And I'm orchestrating, or I'm planning creating some sort of content video. I created one about a week ago, and so I'm kind of structuring it in my mind and how I'm going to create another video by Monday. So I'm working on that attractive marketing as well. Okay.
When you say video, you're doing videos? What are you doing? Short videos?
Yes, I'm trying to keep them between 3 and 5 minutes long and give some sort of tip, provide some sort of content. And I was watching your videos with the interview you did with that real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to take up doing some sort of interviewing people in my community and other people in the game. And I want to start implementing that into my business, especially given my current, financial state. And I want to be a little more creative and take advantage of the social media and that attractive marketing, because that reduced costs right there.
Man, you are preaching to the choir, Coleco.
Man, well, yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
to your content. So.
Well, I've been big. I've been doing a lot of homework. My goal for 2015 was to reduce my overhead, reduce my marketing costs, get away from. There's still a place for traditional marketing, newsletters, mailers, pay-per-click and stuff. The trouble is that stuff costs a lot of money, and you guys know what the problem is. It's the return on the investment. We're not getting the email blasts, the newsletters, the yellow letters, the cards. They still work depending on how good your lists are. But what is the response rate? Okay, 5-10 years ago, we would get, James just joined us, 5-10 years ago, we would get 25-30% response on a good newsletter, a good mailer, yellow letter, whatever. And somebody's got background noise. But today, we basically, it's cost a fortune. I mean, I get people call me up, I'm not kidding you, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month. What's the return on investment? I've got one guy in North Carolina. He spends $5,000-6,000 a month on radio advertising.
Wow.
Okay, and he gets calls, he gets leads. I'm not knocking all this old. Mad Men is going off the air. I think it's their last episode or last season. I heard on the news last night. Yeah, guys, everybody here watch Mad Men?
Not me.
It's Mad Men is about 1950s, 1960s advertising, where they did billboards, where TV was coming into its own, newspaper ads, things like that. And guys, people aren't reading newspapers, and when we get and radio, everybody in the car has XM or Sirius. And as far as TV goes, we either tape it on a DVR? Help me out.
I think so.
Okay. Okay, we either tape it and then we fast forward through the commercials. When we get regular DVR, thank you. I'm big on. I love Netflix, House of Cards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna anybody here like Trailer Park Boys besides me? I love Trailer Park Boy. Give me some hearts on Trailer Park Boys there, people on Periscope. I want some hearts. Okay. They're very crude, but they make me laugh out loud so much. And that kind of marketing, all of it's still, well, you guys see the newspaper today. Remember what the Sunday newspaper used to look like? It was 2, 3, 4 inches thick. Today it's, it's smaller and smaller.
A couple inches thick, yeah.
Yeah. It was magazines and things like that. And so why don't we use, as Kaleko said, the social media marketing? We have to find out, what is our audience watching? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Pinterest? Are they on YouTube? Are they on Twitter, Facebook? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on Yik Yak? Who's our audience?
Yak.
What's that?
Yik Yak.
You know Yik Yak? Tell me about Yik Yak. I know nothing about Yik Yak.
Oh, actually, no. I thought you just made it up.
No, I swear there's one called Yik Yak.
Nice.
Who knows about Yik Yak? Randolph Ellis, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Welcome to the group. Everyone say hello, Randolph. He's one of my new guys. Yik Yak, I think, is really popular with the college kids. But does anyone know, where did Facebook start? Trivia question.
In college.
In college. It started at Harvard, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was just for colleges and things like that. Was started by a couple guys who dropped out of Harvard, right?
Right.
What was Microsoft started by?
Bill Gates.
Where did he drop out of?
Actually, don't know.
Harvard.
Harvard. I don't know.
Also Harvard. Steve Jobs. He dropped out of a school. He dropped out of a college in California and went to classes for free. He called it auditing classes. Things, awesome. All this stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah, and where did Facebook start? What state? What town?
Well, I don't know where Harvard is. So
Harvard's in Boston.
Okay.
Okay, you're not going on to Jeopardy, and you better not make it a true daily double.
Right.
As far as that goes. But Kaleko was talking, I digress. But Kaleko was talking about doing videos on real estate. Now, Kaleko, share with the group, are you going to take pictures of deals you're working on and kind of blast them out to the universe?
Oh, yeah, definitely. For all the activity I get, all the contracts I will be locking up, if I go to the property, I'll definitely like to live stream it and record it somehow, or record it, put it on YouTube. The contracts I'm working on, I like to share that as well. I like to do some interviews of other professionals in the community, any related, real estate related, or just pretty much any businesses in the community. And I got that idea from the interview you had with that other gentleman, and start really taking advantage of that and putting out content, period, to work on that attractive marketing. And like you said, blast it on all my social media accounts.
And what's your cost?
It's like zero. My phone bill, maybe.
There is a cost, though. We're not paying for pay-per-click or mailers or postage or printing and labor, but we're paying in something else. What is it? What is it, gentlemen? No ladies on yet.
Time, effort, work.
Time, man. Time's money. You know what's the difference between a millionaire and people who struggle? Millionaire knows he's going to die someday, and he puts a greater value on his time or her time.
Right. Wow.
Everybody's got 24 hours in a day, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to other planets yet where the days are long. I always ask my wife, honey, give me another 4 hours. I get up earlier and earlier in the morning. Thank God we're spring into summer, so I have a longer day. I mean, I get up at 6:30 in the morning. In the summer, I try to get up at 5, just so I can do my exercise in the morning and then get rid of my email and then get to work on deals, calling people, doing research, due diligence, whatever I gotta do. But back to the videos, if we can put out videos, they have to be, what do you think how long should a video be that you're on a property you're marketing? Let me hear some discussion on that.
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5. I heard 5 and 3 to 5.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too, around 3 to 5 minutes.
You guys want to know my opinion on that?
I'd say no more than 3.
Who said 3? Who was that? James? Hey, James.
Yeah, I'd say no more than 3.
Somebody shut off your phone. Thank you. My videos are 2 to 4 minutes at the most, and I'm trying to get them on an average between 2 to 3 minutes. Somebody tell me why. Do an analysis here.
It's too long.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Who was first?
It keeps their attention. You only have so much time. Their attention span's so long, and you want to be effective.
Go ahead. Who else had something to add?
Yeah, I just think more than 3 minutes is too long. Kind of like what he said. You know, you don't have very much time with him.
Hey, Dirk.
So just everything you need to know just needs to be put in that 3 minutes.
I think people's attention. I don't think people have changed that much where their attention. Well, maybe their attention span is smaller because we're inundated with content. I love to read, guys. I love books. I love watching Netflix. I get I get the New York Times, Wall Street Journal every day. My wife and I get a plethora of magazines, and newsletters and things. And pardon the language, the shit just stacks up. I can't keep up with it. Then all the online stuff and content, you know, all the articles that I get to read, you know, all the stuff on my iPad. You can't keep up. So people I think they're getting particular. I think they're getting picky. It's not so much that they can focus on things that they're truly interested in, and they will not tolerate something that is not to the point, that is not entertaining. I think it's got to be right to the point. It's got to be exactly when they're searching for real estate or lease purchasing in Dallas, Texas, okay, El Paso. They want to find those properties in El Paso. They don't want to hear about real estate in Florida and other places. When you're searching an article, you type in the word lease purchase. You want to find an article about lease purchase, not about wraparounds or subject tos. When we get distracted, sometimes we lose our thought, and then we either go to a new topic, but we want to stay focused. We want to have a good experience, and I think we better keep the stuff shorter and to the point. Even web pages, you guys are going to love this one. I'm writing an article right now. It's called "The Web Page is Dead." Right. Somebody tell me what I'm going to be writing about.
How it's irrelevant in some way or fashion.
Go ahead. Who else jumped in?
Yeah, I'm gonna say webpage too long and dragged out. Too much information, too much overwhelming information.
Oh, bless you, my son. We go to anybody here go to web pages, and you're still seeing these stupid banner ads and pop-ups where you got to click the X, or audio comes on, or there's 30 different tags.
Yes.
You know. Daniel Scotti just came in, and he said basically you got about 30 seconds to grab their attention. They go to a web page and they see all these tabs on the tops, all these pop-ups, all this stuff. I think I think they get bored. They're thinking about all the other stuff they're looking for, and they leave our web page in maybe 15 to 30 seconds. And we better design web pages that are simpler and have more compelling content. And just grab them real fast. And I think videos on the home page, this is one of the solutions I'm looking for. I'm going to be putting short videos on my home page with a little subscription thing if they want something for free. I do believe in getting people to give up their information if we give them good free content, if we create some kind of incentive. If we just say, I'm great, give me, we're going to lose them fast. There's so much competition out there. There's so much content. I think our whole marketing on web pages, on blogs, on content has to completely change. This goes against, probably this is a contradiction to what you're hearing from a lot of other gurus who are still selling the 2010, 2005 type of marketing. Okay, and it's not, once again, that stuff is bad. It just doesn't work as well anymore. Let me give you an example. How many of you guys have you seen that Joe McCall, my buddy? We did a video with a live sales call. Anybody? You guys have seen that, right? It's on YouTube.
Yeah, the one when he's in the car.
Yep, it's a live sales call. It's a great one. If you haven't seen it, make sure you do see it. On that call, Claude Diamond, Joe McCall, I make a live call. It's 22 minutes long. I think it's something, what's it, like 65,000 views or something like that. We have it in multiple, Joe has it, I have it, and it's in multiple locations on YouTube. Now, what would be the cost of getting 65,000 people to watch a video? You know, and then click on the link. There's always that little subscription link on the top, or there's a phone number or something at the end of the video. How much would that cost to pay to get 35,000 truly interested, warm prospects?
Oh man.
So
Nothing.
yeah. So when you're doing your videos, it's got to be compelling. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be pertinent to the subject matter. You've got to create incentives so they want to subscribe, or you give something for free. You got to get their attention, number one. And I think we got to simplify things, because the bottom line is everyone is overwhelmed with too much content. Anybody here ever sit in front of their computer and just start fooling around with different things, videos and things and podcasts, and before you know it, like 2-3 hours went away, it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Does that happen to everybody else? Does that happen to everybody besides me?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so this is marketing today. We walk around, you go into the airport. Anybody ever been on a flight? Anybody ever been on a flight recently? I fly all the time.
Yes.
You get up, go to the bathroom, and turn around and look at all the people facing you. What are they all doing?
Yeah, exactly.
They've all got, I'd say about 1/8 use laptops. Everybody else is using an iPad or a Galaxy or their phone. Especially since now, iPads and phones, you don't have to shut them off below 10,000 feet anymore. So nobody wants to take a laptop anymore because they still have to be shut off. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, so what is it everybody's staring at? Portable mobile devices all the time. We have to market to where the people are. This is like, this is a revelation, right?
Right.
They're not taking their postcards on the airplane to the mall. They're not taking the yellow letters. They're going online and they're reading stuff. They're watching videos. What's the number? And I say, let's market real smart. Let's market through YouTube. YouTube's got to be number what, 2 or 3 in terms of most popular web pages?
No, yeah.
What are some others that we should be using for marketing, particularly in real estate? How about Zillow?
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook. Do you have a following in Facebook? Okay, you want to build up a following, have multiple pages in Facebook, and link your content from your YouTube. If you guys watch my Facebook page, the content that I have, I'll put a video in YouTube, and then I can link it to Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to Blogger, to all these different social media. Right. So with one video, I can go to like 10 different places. Daniel Scotty liked that. Good. So this is the kind of marketing I'm doing. So if you're looking for deals, if you're looking for buyers, for instance, what kind of articles or videos should you be putting out there? You're looking for buyers and investors. What should you do? A video that's a commercial, says, "Hi, you know, I'm James Dunwoody. I'm great. Call me up today." James, you heard that, right?
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
Okay, I'm James Woody. I am a great guy. Call me up. I know more than you. Okay, nobody wants a commercial anymore, right?
No.
What could James Dunwoody? I just love your name, James. So I'm going to say it as many times as possible.
All right.
Maybe somebody will call you up for it. But what should James Dunwoody? What content should he put out there on social media, on blogs, on YouTube, on podcasts? What should he put out there? What kind of content to get people to say, "Hey, man, I like this guy. Let me call him up. Maybe ask him a question. See if he can help me find a property, invest in a property." Well, give me some ideas here. Let's brainstorm here.
Tips about investing.
Oh, I like that.
Show some deals that I'm working on or have done, and the spreads or how the terms may have worked for other investors that I've worked with.
Should they be geographically centric? Those titles you were just saying.
I would think so.
Deals I've done in Atlanta, great real estate deals in Orlando, stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, because Google algorithms, when someone does a search, I want to know more about lease purchasing, and they live in San Diego, California. Where is Google going to shoot them to?
San Diego.
San Diego. It's Google algorithms are set for geographic sensitivity. How about the time frame? Are they going to shoot? They're going to shoot you to articles from 2012 or videos from or April 3rd, 2015.
Most recent stuff. Well, I mean, doesn't some of it determine on how much activity it's getting as well? So it's in a combination of both. That's
a really good point. What do we call that? The popularity of that video. If it's a really popular on-target subject that people are searching for, will Google give it a higher rating?
Yes.
What's the word I'm looking for? Relativity?
Trending.
Trending. I like that. Good word. Good word. Who said that?
Kaliko.
Thank you. Trending, popularity. I think these are factors, mathematical equations that Google has in there so that certain people are much higher in the top 10, top 3 of the search. Now, think about this. If you could have a really compelling article on, let's say, lease purchasing in Orlando, but there's a couple people who are paying $1 pay per click, who are like national gurus, and there are always those ads on the top. But if I'm in Orlando or San Diego, whatever, I think I'm gonna go to the regular link on the guy who lives in my area rather than the generic paid for ad on the top, the Google AdWord. What do you guys think?
I agree.
You know, so this has to be all part of your plan. Now, here's where it gets to be really hard. This is the work part. We said it's very little in money, almost nothing. But you have to put out regular, consistent content that's enthralling, that's compelling. Give me some 10 things you want to know before you buy a property. 5 ways to lease purchase your investment home and generate high yields. 6 things you should do before you work with a realtor. I mean, articles like this with sexy titles, either way. Blogs should have videos embedded in them also, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They should all have that. And podcasts, too, are very popular. I think my buddy Joe McCall's, he's doing at least 1 or 2 podcasts a week right now. I just recorded 3 or 4 with him on sales. He's putting out those podcasts all the time. People get a link, they click on it, they go back to his webpage. Do you think that's why he's doing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think we're on the beginning. I think we're really at the beginning of a revolution in social media marketing. And I'm not a techie guy, believe me, but I want to do things that get me leads cheap, a multitude of leads, get me cheap. I want the phone ringing like crazy every day. I want buyers calling me, sellers. I want investors calling me. I even want other professionals. I work with a lot of realtors, mortgage people. I want the phone ringing because you guys all know my rule of 5, right? What is it, James? Before I let you pitch your deal, tell me what's the rule. What's Claude's rule of 5? This is your Friday exam.
Your rule of 5?
What's my rule of 5?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Thousands of people are waiting for your answer right now. Your children are going to see this video someday and say, "That's my dad."
They're not going to be impressed.
I'm beating you up. Someone help him out.
I'm thinking 5 calls a day.
No, that's close. Not 5 calls a day. Someone help him out. Someone play the Jeopardy music. I want 5 new prospects a day. I want that phone ringing. I want emails. I want people texting you. I want you to speak to 5 new people a day. That's 25 to 35 a week. Real prospects. Warm people who are calling you are warm prospects. True?
True.
Okay. What would happen if we speak to 25? How many people are speaking to 25 to 35 new people a week? It's hard.
Not many.
It's hard. What do you think the result would be if you spoke to 5 new prospects a day? Buyers or sellers or investors?
Would be good.
It would increase, every part of it.
Yeah. This has got to be our goal in marketing, no matter how we do it, through traditional means or through social media. We've got to get to 5 new people a day, not just 5 phone calls. I mean, if you want to start out with 5 phone calls a day and you're not doing any right now, use the gut system to make yourself really comfortable on the phone. Learn how to ask the questions. You be the boss, not a bully, but somebody's got to take the leadership role. You speak to enough people every day, you will do deals, you will make money. If you get sidetracked, the trouble with this business is there's too much minutia. There's too many things that distract us. We only have that limited amount of hours a day we can work. And then we get all the distractions, okay? We're playing games, we're watching Netflix, phone calls ring about our dentist appointment and all that stuff. We've got to budget a certain amount of time for this kind of marketing, whether we're either making the calls or receiving the calls. I don't care which, okay? And we're calling people who we can do business with in one fashion or another. That to me is marketing 2015. That's what I'm doing. I am I had someone this week. I hope he's not on this call. Someone complained to me this week. Got to share this with you guys. Said, Claude, if I do your marketing plan, I'm going to be overwhelmed with phone calls. What do you say to that person?
It's not a bad way to have.
Say that again, please.
That's a great problem.
That's a great problem. Thank you, Michael. I want to be overwhelmed. I want to be apologizing to people. Say, hey, Mr. Ellis, I am so sorry. I know you called on Tuesday, and I usually try to call people back in 24 hours or less. I am so sorry, but you must have called about something important. Tell me how I can help you. Are you a buyer, or seller, or investor? Mr. Randolph, tell me why did you call me, Mr. Ellis? Oh, he's hiding. We lost him. Tell me why you're calling me, Mr. Kaleko.
I got a house for sale. I seen your ad, and I'm trying to sell a house.
Oh, are you selling it on your own or working with a realtor? If you don't mind me asking a few questions.
No, sure, that's fine. I'm selling it by myself right now. Yeah.
Good for you. You're saving that 6%.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
That's smart. Only certain people can do that. Good for you. You probably know all about the legalities and the contracts and escrow and title insurance and inspections and prorations. Good for you. That's a lot of knowledge. How did you learn all that stuff?
Well, I appreciate it. To be honest, I don't know entirely that much. I just, I got my house for sale. I'm trying to get it for sale for a certain number, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about your property and see if we can do business today?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, great. My name's Claude Diamond. I buy houses. I do a lot of different things with my company, and I look for investment properties. We either have price or terms or a combination of both.
Okay.
If that's good. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, then you ask me, and if we're a good fit, maybe we'll do business today. Regardless, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can just say no to me, and we're still friends. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay, boom. That was just ladies and gentlemen, that off the role play. Thank you. That was a demonstration of an agenda with a call. That's what my calls sound like. A little bit of stroke. Did you hear the stroking and nurturing?
Yeah, yeah.
Why do I do that?
Well, it was after you started listing it off, in one's mind, it was a little overwhelming. You would think, well, I don't know all that, but, it kind of helps them put things in perspective, I guess.
Yeah, it makes it relaxing, makes you confident. We're going for power of persuasion says that we got to try to get people to like us. So if you listen to this tape later, you'll hear the nurturing and the stroking and things like that. Before we get too far, I'm going to go to James Dunwoody. He's got a great deal. I want to pitch this to the group. You still there, James? I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I want to have a commercial here. Anybody here drink beer?
Yes.
This is, I'll hold this up. This is from Lagunitas. This is my favorite. It only comes out a short time a year here. Let me show it to you guys on Skype. Let me show it to you guys on Google. Lagunitas cat. Okay. This is what's my two favorite drinks? Coffee and beer. These guys put it together.
Nice.
It is but you can only get it for a very short time. Try this beer. And anybody else ever tried Ballast here in San Diego? Grapefruit Sculpin. Another awesome beer.
I have to try it.
Great beer. I got to show. Believe it or not, I got 4 devices working. We are simultaneously broadcasting on Google Hangouts, on Meerkat, and on Periscope. Let me show you guys what I'm drinking. Good beer, man. It's Friday. It's Good Friday. That means drink good beer on Good Friday. And there's one beer, I think, this is my 3rd beer, and I'll turn this over to James. I think this beer was named after me. This is the best $5 beer. It's from Stone Brewery. It's called Arrogant Bastard.
Are those all breweries out there in San Diego?
Yes. Am I showing my prejudice? These are all breweries in San Diego. This is Stone. Stone is a brilliant brewery. They started a revolution here in San Diego with brewing. Then Ballast came along. Ballast is like the new hot brewery. And then one of the little smaller breweries is Lagunitas. They're up in Petaluma. Good stuff. Okay, this beer moment was brought to you by Claude, who's thinking about a beer at 12:33 in the afternoon. Maybe I have a problem. Let's go.
Problem.
It's a good
problem to have.
Dan, if you guys, anybody else have a favorite beer I should try before we move on?
None that I can think
I
of.
like the Boulevard KC Pills, but that's a local brewery here,
Where's here?
Kansas City.
All right. KC Pill. It's a Pilsner, right?
Yes.
That's like Michelob Light or something, isn't it? Ultra?
I mean, it's better, but I mean, it's more of a lighter beer. Yeah.
And there's room for a lighter beer. You guys are going to laugh. I'm going to share something I don't share with anybody. Do you know what my go-to cheap drinking beer is once in a while?
What?
Miller High Life.
There you go.
$7.99 at Vons, a 12-pack.
There you go.
Why am I talking? It's my cheap go-to beer. James, talk about.
Yes.
James has got. James Dunwoody has a really interesting deal here. We talked about it a little this morning in my car on my way to the dentist. Tell everybody about yourself, James, and tell us about your deal. And let's see what the group suggests.
All right. So I was asking Claude about this duplex that I got a lead on. The guys want $40,000 cash. In my opinion, the property in as-is conditions probably $20,000-$25,000. But he is interested in holding the paper on it, and I asked him if he'd be interested in more of a shorter term type hold, or if he'd be willing to do an owner finance on it and let me make payments until it's paid off. He was okay with that if we could get him his asking price. So the property needs probably $25,000 in rehab, which would put it up to I think Claude and I bumped it up even a little higher just to be more conservative to $30,000, which would put it at $70,000 all in. I think it could sell for $60,000, maybe $65,000.
Repeat that last part, James, because that.
The all in on it would be if someone was to buy it cash for $40,000 and put $30,000 into it, the all in would be $70,000.
And the valuation?
And the value would be about $65,000 on it. So what I was planning on doing was, since he's willing to do an owner finance on it, would be I'm trying to get him to. Well, he wanted to do 5 to 10% down. I told him that I wasn't interested in doing anything down because I have to put so much money into the rehab, and that would be adding value to his property while I was making the payments to him. So I'm going to agree to his $2,000 down. Actually, the purchase price, let me go back for a second, was $42,000, not $40,000. So, I'm going to give him his 5% down like he wanted, which would be $2,000. And then basically I'm going to end up wholesaling this property to somebody. And the rents on it would be $650 to $700 a month. So that'd be $1,300 to $1,400 a month total. My payments to him would be $500 a month until it's paid off. So I'd have $2,000 down, $500 a month until it's paid off, and then I'm going to defer the payments for 90 days while I renovate it, or at least that's what I'm asking for my negotiating. So I'll wholesale the property to somebody else, and then so I'm thinking maybe wholesale it for 10 to 15,000, and then they'd be able to do the renovations. That means they'd be into it for about 40,000, and then they would have the have 500 a month payments on it, and they would just make those payments till it's paid off. So they would cash flow anywhere from $800 to $900 a month. Claude was suggesting do a wrap on it and increase the percentage rate, since I'm going to do it with 0% interest to the seller. So do a wrap on it, and then I could make some monthly cash flow on it until it's paid off.
Okay, let me see if I can summarize this, because it's kind of
all over the place.
It's kind of all over the place. It's a duplex. It's owner owns it free and clear.
Right.
Sales price is $42,000, and with approximately $30,000 in repairs necessary on it. This complete unit, if it was repaired, would rent for how much? You said $1,400 a month.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a good area. This is an area that rents well and everything. The purchase price and the repairs make it a push. It's basically there's no equity.
Right.
In this thing, and the rental is good. That would cover and the purchase price is very low compared to, well, anything's low compared to San Diego.
Right.
But the rent is unbelievably high. The thing that makes this deal, and this was kind of a topic I wanted to talk to you guys about today, can we do deals where the owner wants full price or there's absolutely no equity in a property? Can we do deals? And James pitched this deal to me today, and we can do this deal because the owner is willing to do owner financing. I think that is what saves this deal. What do you?
Right.
Are we on the same page, James?
Yeah, and that's what I was bringing it up to. I just didn't know, as far as on the sales side, I know it's a deal with the terms, but I didn't know if there was any other type of creative ways, and that's where you brought up the wrap, which I've never done. As just another way to look at it and see if there's maybe more potential profit to make on that.
Yeah, the way James and I bounce this deal around, if he can get the owner wants 5% down on a $42,000 purchase. Big deal, $2,000, right? If I use my fingers and toes here, approximately $2,000. Except we'll give you full price. We will save you real estate commission. We will give you your 5% down, $2,000 cash up front. If you hold the mortgage for $500 a month, principal only payments for the balance of the payment, so we can pay it to the finality of this deal for 80 months. Actually, 80 months times $500 would be $40,000 with the $2,000 down up front. No bank, no interest, principal only payments. Okay. Oh, I always suggest one of the most influential books I ever read was by Jimmy Napier, Invest in Debt, DEBT. Jimmy's out of Napier, Florida. He's an old timer. I think he's in his 80s or something, 90s. He's still bouncing around all over the place. And this book was about understanding the finance, the amortization schedules, interest, amortization, principal payments, how to do notes, how to hypothecate notes, things like that. This is, I think, one of the essential skills you have to have in this business.
What was his name again?
Jimmy Napier, Napier. Someone said, Quentin Freeman sent me an email. Okay. Let's see. Maybe that he has an answer in there. Nope. But somebody look it up. Great book on finance. So when you're some of these deals can be saved, I guess is our point, if we get the owner to hold the mortgage on the property. Now, if this contract on this property is assignable, what I suggested to James is he either assigns the whole kick and caboodle and then he increases the price a little bit. He can either assign the contract, because the value in this deal is that there's no bank. There's a lot of people up there love no bank owner finance deals. They just love those deals. Okay, can you imagine you could own a property and not have to fill out all a ream of applications and go through all that realtor and all that other stuff? You can just buy it. You can still use escrow and title insurance and everything, but the banking part has been taken care of. So he can either assign the contract to another investor, or he could start to do the repairs himself and then sell this property to somebody else, raise the price, and then add interest. He will do the financing on top of his financing. We call that a wrap. He's paying principal-only payments, but then he could sell it to somebody, and he could receive the full payment of maybe 8, 9, 10% interest, something like that, with maybe even points. It just depends on which way to do it. So I thought this was a unique deal. Anybody want to chime in on this stuff or questions for James? I'm hearing crickets.
So if he was to keep it, you said do the wraparound. So essentially that would then be his lease option to the tenant buyer.
Or he can sell it and hold it as a sale.
Right.
And he gets the payment. So he charges 8, 9, 10% interest. He charges the guy $75,000. Okay. And that way he also gets 8% on the $75,000. Someone do the calculation for me. How much is that?
So then he would get the split in between, like the payment and the selling price.
And if and if the guy misses a payment or something, James can foreclose and take it back. He could do a lease purchase on this too. There's many different configurations. But the saving grace on this deal, since there's no equity and it's full price, is because of the interest rates.
Nice.
Because excuse me, it's because of the bank, the owner held financing. Thank you. So James, give us a conclusion here. You're gonna write up an offer today on this, aren't you?
Yeah, I already sent him a letter of intent on it, and so he's going to review it this evening. He said he wasn't able to do it until he got to his office, and then he would get back with me tonight to let me know, and then you and I can discuss the different options on the turnaround, just so I can see the numbers, how they would work with the wrap and all that stuff.
I would get him a letter of intent at the least, if not a full-fledged offer. If you want to do multiple offers, use a letter of intent.
Yeah, that's what I did. I'm sure he's going to go with the owner finance, because I had $20,000 cash, I had $30,000 as a lease option, and then I had $42,000 as owner finance. So I gave him 3 options, but I know he's going to push towards that 42, which that's kind of how I wanted it to be, because that's what we were discussing. And then go from there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm giving him 2 of the things he wants. His 5% down, and then his full asking price. So I'm hoping he's willing, which I think he will be, because he didn't really seem. He was more or less kind of asking me, well, do you think we could do 5 to 10% down? Do you think we could, have an interest? So it sounds like he's very open to it, and I think I can get it with 0% as long as I'm giving him the other 2. I'd even be willing to give him more down to get the 0% interest.
Nice.
Yeah. There's all different kinds of ways to do deals, though. When you get somebody who, for reasons of financing, or they pay too much for the property, too many people walk away from deals that are full price when, if we can't get price, let's get terms on these deals. Let's even in some cases, we could get them to subsidize a deal. Has anyone ever heard of that technique? Okay, say the property's $1,000 a month PITI. Guy's got a first and a second for a total of $1,000 a month in a neighborhood where the property's rent for $750. I need it for $500. Seller is motivated, and the property's been sitting vacant. Okay, I'm going to go to the seller and say, "You, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, you have a choice. Either lose $1,000 a month or lose $500 and do a deal with me." Okay, so we can negotiate and get them to subsidize the deal in some cases, or
Right, I see.
or if they have a low or no mortgage, we can do subject to the existing subject to, or we can go ahead.
It's all coming back to me.
So as far as that goes, you know, if you do the subsidized, if you're making those payments, I mean, who's to say that they're not going to make their half of the payment and then screw up your deal?
Okay, so
How would you structure that?
which party? I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so if it's 1,000 and we do it for 500 a month with them, you know, and they stop making their 500 portion.
Okay. Yeah, you mean they're using a bank? They have a bank or a second. Does anyone want to answer that for me?
That would be taken care of in the contract, would it?
Yeah, the contract. Well, the contract's supposed to take care of it, but do people always do what they promise in a contract?
No.
So what do? Guy's got a bank. You're sending your payments to the owner, and he's putting it in his pocket. He's buying beer, and that paying the mortgage.
That arrogant bastard.
That arrogant.
Like if I'm making the payment directly to the bank, let's say,
That was funny. You get a point for that one.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, I'm more concerned with like, because I would want to structure it to where I'm making the payment to the bank myself. I don't want to go directly to them. But my question is how do you guarantee or how do you position yourself where you're not putting yourself in a pickle where he doesn't make his portion?
Well, if you're paying directly to the bank, okay, I see what you're saying. That's what you're both making payments. In other words, you're paying 500, he's paying 500, something like that.
Right.
Okay.
Because you said we're going to split it. If we're splitting it, I don't want to pay him my 500 and him not make the payment. I want at least my portion going to where it needs to go.
Okay.
So how do you protect yourself and try to make as little risk as possible in that deal and make sure that he's going to make his?
Good question. Somebody in the group answer that. Come on.
It is a good question.
It's a good question. What do we do when we have a conflict that there's a trust issue? What do we do whenever we have a trust issue between the parties?
Can you just have an escape clause? Just get out?
The contract won't solve. You can always have an escape clause. That's true. But you want to make this deal work. You just don't trust each other. This guy's got a history of being. When you're doing a deal with somebody who's behind in their payments or defaulting, do you really want to send them more money?
No.
No, of course not. So what's the solution? I'm holding up 3 fingers. What does that mean?
3.
If there's 2 parties in a deal, a buyer and a seller, who should be the third party?
An escrow company?
Yes, good. Keep going.
Or attorney.
Attorney? Oh, God forbid. I'm kidding. I can make fun of attorneys. What about
get it notarized take to the county. Get it notarized.
how about an accountant? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Like you could use an accountant, a CPA. How about a management company, trust company? Get a third party that both sides can agree on, who receives the payments for a percentage, and you make sure that the payments and you both get some kind of monthly statement.
Right, but again, who's to say that they're not going to make those payments?
Well, if they don't make the payment, you will know about it very quickly because you've got a third party monitoring everything. Okay.
I just didn't know if there was a way to maybe structure the contract to where like there's some kind of I don't want to say a penalty, but somehow something comes to you if they're to renege on their agreement. Sure.
I mean, you can do all kinds of penalty or acceleration clauses and things like that. You can do all those.
Take the property if they don't make their payments.
Well, you make sure that you have a quit claim held by a third party, something like that. There's all different things you can do. But the bottom line is if they have no equity in the property, it's questionable how much you can protect yourself on this deal. There's a lot of trust in real estate deals, right?
Right.
I mean, I say, what did Ronald Reagan always say? Trust. When he was dealing with the Russians on the nuclear proliferation treaties with Gorbachev, he said, they asked him if he trusts the Russians. He said, trust but verify.
I like that.
So let's always let's always you go. A lot of this business is instinctual too. I say get a contract on everything, checks and balances if you can, and go by your instincts. If you're dealing with somebody who's got a history of late pays, no pays, defaults, or bankruptcies, don't do business with that person. You know,
Right.
Robert Kiyosaki. I read this just recently. Robert Kiyosaki went bankrupt. Did you guys know that on one of his companies?
Oh man.
It was with I think the Learning Annex in New York City, where we did those big things with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And he went bankrupt because he owed them 20-something million, $22 million.
Oh wow.
Okay, so probably his attorney gave him good advice, said, hey, it's not making any money anymore. There's no legs to this business with all these people. Just go bankrupt and you won't have to pay them. Okay, he owed him a lot of money for those big super. My feeling would be, would I do business ever? Would I ever do business with this guy again on a big venture like that?
Probably not.
There's no secret. There's not many secrets in the real estate business. So
Right.
so James, just real quick, you're going to go ahead. You're going to send a contract to this guy today, and then you're going to follow up with us next time and let us know what happened. All the money you made, right?
Exactly. Yep. I already sent it off to him, and yeah, I'll know something by next week.
Okay, cool. Let us know, and we'll do an update video on YouTube or something like that. By the way, if you guys, my YouTube page, which we're broadcasting from, we're doing a live broadcast through YouTube today.
Cool.
It is cool. It's I don't even know what I call it. Google Live, Google Broadcast Now, or something like that. Hold on, it's called. I know Mr. Scotty is going to tell me in a minute, but I know what it's called. Live Events on Google, and you can actually broadcast live while it's recording. Okay, I'm also I'm using some new streaming technology. If you guys are not onto it yet, it's called Meerkat and also Periscope. They're both Twitter related. They're both live streaming. They're both free. They're iOS or Android applications where you can literally take an event in your life. You're buying a house, selling a house. You see an accident through your phone or iPad, and we're doing it live right now for this little group call, just as an experiment, basically, to see the response rate we get. Why am I doing it? So right now I have an iPad, an iPhone, and 2 laptops broadcasting, also on Skype, which is my favorite media communication device. I'm on Skype all day long, guys. I do texting through it. I do my training sessions, as you know, with it. I make phone calls, international and otherwise, through it. I do file transfer protocol. I love Skype. It is my #1 favorite app of all time. But these are all media devices that work phenomenally well, and so start to get acquainted with some of this stuff. I'm really interested in the Meerkat and Periscope right now. Anybody else have a favorite application they want to share with us? We're getting close to the end here.
I would say the same. I'm real intrigued by Meerkat and Periscope as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just amazing. We are the media now. Marshall McLuhan, who was an author in the 60s, said the media is the message or the massage. And what he meant was TV, radio, and newspapers control the universe. They brought our attention to anything that was newsworthy or products or cars or sports. That's all we had. But today, anybody with a device and a topic of interest and who has a little creativity can literally create their own TV station. They can have their own media event right now. I think this is going to substantially change the webinar. Have you got everybody here been on those? What is it called? GoToWebinar and all that stuff by Citrix, yeah. And there's a couple.
Yes.
I don't like that technology because I've always had trouble with it. It's always been a little quirky, and it's expensive too. It costs money. These other media applications I was talking about, they're all free. Quick thing here. I got some speaking gigs. I'm going to be in Fresno with Henry Serrano. The social media stuff that we just touched on today, that's all we're going to talk about at the Keller Williams office on Saturday, April 11th. So
Nice.
I got it on my Facebook page. I have it on my newsletter, which I sent out today to everybody. Get my latest video newsletter. It's like a bunch of different links and videos. I send it out when the mood strikes. But hopefully everybody got that. I have another speak for you guys in San Diego. I'm going to be at Felipe's. Somebody tell everybody who's out of California what Felipe's is known for. Who's a local? Who knows what Felipe's is?
Oh, I don't.
It's
I don't.
a really great pizzeria chain here in San Diego. I'm going to be speaking at the East Lake Businessman's Club on Monday, April 13th at 11:30. So if you guys are there, love to see you. Come on down.
Nice.
Going to be at the Realty 411, which is, I think, a big San Diego company. They do a magazine. Does anyone read that magazine, Realty 411, or get it?
No, I've seen it. I see them all the time here in Kansas City.
Yeah, they invited me, not for California. I've got to go to New York City to speak, but it's a big group. That's going to be Saturday, April 25th, out in Long Island, New York. So that's going to be. Why do I do all that speaking, gentlemen and ladies? Why do I speak? We were talking about marketing all day. Why do we do an old school thing like speaking to small and large and humongous groups? Why do I do that?
Get more students, promote your products.
Mm-hmm.
Still very effective. Get more leads as well.
Partner with
And
people
more
on deals.
networking.
Someone talk about ROI on public speaking.
So
Get a higher return.
Monstrous. Every time I speak, I get deals, real estate deals. I get new people from my database who become future warm prospects. I sell products. I get consulting. I do get training. Absolutely. All this. And I'm going to tell you something. When I started speaking, I was a real chicken shit. I mean, it was I'd rather wrestle an alligator nude in Macy's picture window than speak to two nuns and a Boy Scout. I mean, truth be told. And I studied Toastmasters. If you guys had the same problem, there's an organization called Toastmasters. They're in every town. They're like $25 and they help you improve. You get like together with a group every 2 weeks and you practice your speaking skills and they give you tips. Nice. And that really helped me. And if you can speak to meetup groups, everybody here know about Meetup?
Yep.
Yes.
Meetup.com. You go into meetup.com, type in your zip code or a range 25 miles out. You will find all these real estate clubs, all these business groups, all these real estate agent groups. And you go there and say, hey, I want to talk about lease purchasing or something like that, or some topic, or just talk about some deals you did, or, and you make up a little PowerPoint for 15, 20 minutes. I guarantee you will make money if you can do that consistently.
Nice.
It's one of the ROI on public speaking is through the roof.
I like that.
Okay, it does cost money. Sometimes it's local, it's no big deal. Sometimes it costs money to get on airplanes and rent cars and hotel rooms and stuff. But you try to tie in a lot of other business or even do deals when you're traveling. So
we're going to start holding some little meetings or events here at our office, and bringing other wholesalers in or bird dogs, and then we even thought about having some of them where we maybe talk about certain parts of wholesaling or just any kind of real estate topic, just a different one per week. But then another way was because we're looking to spend $500,000 a month on deals. So what we were going to do is just have all these bird dogs come in, and then they could basically pitch us deals, and we'd be able to buy them, and then have them talk in front of everybody. And it's not good, or the return's not good at all. I mean, we were going to go over the numbers and try to teach them and explain. It'd be like a learning process for them as well. Hey, this is how the numbers would work. This is why it's not a deal. Or help them, possibly try to sell the property, or maybe someone else in the room would have a buyer for the properties if we did not purchase it. So,
Well, that's great. This goes back to the rule of 5, doesn't it? Find a
Yes.
way to speak to more people. Find a way to fill up your database. Okay, you want a dedicated opt-in database. You want people who know who you are, who follow you, who are raving fans, who can bring you deals, can buy deals from you. You can pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got a property here. It's got 100,000 profit in it. I need 15,000. It's yours. You want to build up that database. Save all the mailings you're doing, all the contacts, phone calls. Make sure you save all that information. Put it in your composition book. Take a picture. Put it in Evernote or OneNote or Podio or whatever you're using. Save that information, and over the course of a year or two, you will have hundreds, if not thousands, of hot leads, prospects, people you can call back to. And eventually, you guys know I'm a big endorser of not only doing real estate as a business by itself, but for creating notes and multiple streams of income through education and products. All of you folks got a book or a video in you somewhere, and you can make how I feel about consulting in creative real estate. When you're talking to somebody really far away and it's not the right deal for you, or there's not enough room, or they're trying to pick your brain, turn it into a consulting, turn it into a money-making event for yourself and make some cash. So I think we're a little over on time here. You guys have a wonderful Good Friday weekend here. Okay, and
thank you very much, Claude.
yeah, thank you guys. This was a lot. Was this fun? Did we learn anything?
Oh, yeah.
I learned a lot.
Yes.
We learned my favorite beer.
There you go.
Anyway, everybody have a great weekend. I'll be sending out this recording, and I'll see all of you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Claude.
And we're off of Skype right now. And for you YouTube people watching this, if you have any questions, give me a call. I answer my own phone. You knew I was going to say that. 970-281-5151. 970-281-5151. Or go to my webpage, claudediamond.com, or just Skype me, Claude Diamond. I'm easy to find. Be glad to help you in any way you can. You guys have a great week. Bye-bye.